How petty do you get?
Not petty anymore because
You're a changed
well,
man,
I'm old. I'm tired.
Is that how it gets you?
I'm old and tired because pettiness does take energy. It becomes a project
That
in
makes
a
sense,
way. I mean, I was like, I fell in love with everyone when I was younger and was always so angry. I was heartbroken, but I only knew how to channel it into
Isn't that crazy
anger.
thing about being a man? You're like, I have all these emotions, but I'm only gonna let one of them out.
Yeah.
It's gonna be anger and meanness.
It's like joy is anger because you're like, yeah.
That's so funny.
Sadness is anger because you're punching a wall.
Like, yeah. I'm an emotional guy, and I'm so afraid to let that shit out.
Yeah.
Because I just think of my dad going, nigga, stop crying before I hit you. I had my dad for a small period of time.
Well, right.
And then he's like, oh, I'm a father. I don't like this job. I'm out, my guy.
Right.
Yeah,
That was,
sorry,
well,
too.
same. No, it's same here.
Okay.
I was raised by the streets of suburban Atlanta. You still get the shit roasted out of you there, and you got to have thick skin. And I did not know that growing up. So I was
What did you do?
I just was like, oh, I guess they all hate me. I'm just gonna sit by myself.
wow.
But I was like, now I'm older,
Look
and
at
I
you not
realize
becoming a school shooter. I'm proud of you. Look at you holding that shit
I had to
in.
work my way out of that. The problem is I wasn't into black clothing at the time, and I didn't trust. I've
What do you mean
never
by black?
trusted
What do you mean
myself
this,
with a
like
gun.
hip clothing?
Well, no, like I feel like to be a school shooter, you got to wear all. I'm more of a school shooter now.
Thank you. Okay. You mean school. I just assumed you was being racist for some reason. I'm like, what do you mean by black clothing? Like that's an interesting thing to say on this podcast.
Yeah, you
right
got to
now.
sag your pants a little bit. You got
I'm
to.
like, Jesus Christ. It is amazing it's not more black. Well, it's black school shooters. They just don't do it at the school.
Well, right.
So we're going to do best out of 3.
I like how you gave yourself the go first ones.
Don't be a hoe, man. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna do it because here's the thing.
How do you
I'm
know these will go
this is gonna
first?
be a moment of growth because I'm a bad loser, but I'm also
Me
bad
too.
at this game.
Oh, me too. Well, I feel bad. I'm good at this game, but I also hate losing. I'm a sore loser. It's the only child in me. Yeah, some real dumb shit. I've told people how I really feel about them over just a 2K game. It's not how you. It's not really where you should go, but I've done it. And what's crazy is I'm a nice guy up until those points. I'm playing a weird game with myself. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you the shirt off my back. Niggas beat me. I'm like, nigga, your mom don't love you, and I know why. It's because you're stupid. You're fucking idiot. Okay, best out of 3.
All right.
You want to make a wager of some sort?
Okay.
Let's do like lunch or some shit.
Yeah. Either my choice would be burrito. What would your
Burrito's a good
food
choice.
be?
My choice would be ramen. Not to be a bougie bitch, but yes.
Is it bougie? I always figured soup is sort of communist.
All right, I'm listening. Why? That's an interesting one.
When I think soup lines. And that's the only correlation I have.
You know why I think ramen's bougie? Because I've had ramen my whole life, but in the hood, you get to like the Dollar Tree ramen where you just throw it in the microwave. And now I go get the ramen. It was like, I don't know if they have sweatshops in the back, but they're amazing. And I don't know how they're making that shit. Whatever they're doing to make the ramen that the white people eat, gentrification is a beautiful thing. I don't. I go ramen.
It does make the food better.
I eat ramen like every other day. I think I'm like only see white people in that place. I'm like, how? How's this possible?
That was the weird thing when I went to London. They had fancy ramen places, and I was like in college. I was doing like I was just doing ramen packets and you do several packets if you really want to feel like you're eating food.
My cousin got out of prison. He comes out. I've never seen this shit. He makes ramen. And then after he makes the ramen, he gets a big bag of hot Cheetos. And then he puts the ramen in the hot Cheetos and mixes it together. And that shit, I'm telling you,
so good.
it's amazing.
That sounds
it's
so
amazing.
good. He learned so that he walked so that you could run.
Exactly. I mean, he might have, have a few bodies on him, but that's between him and God. Okay, I will go first. A lot of my cousins are pretty. It's a weird game I gotta play. I hate bringing my cousin around. But like, is that your girl? Like, it's my cousin. Like, thank God. What? No, don't talk to her. Like, oh no, yeah, whatever.
Is that your cousin? Oh, okay.
I can be a sleazebag.
Yeah.
Good to know. My mom's
Those
a
are
fan.
always.
Yeah, my mom's a huge fan. I knew, and you know, crazy. I think I know exactly when my dad stopped loving me. I came back. It was sophomore year. I had white friends.
This is way later than I was gonna say.
Jesus Christ. No. Before this, he was just a bad father. I know he stopped. I know it was my fault. The beginning was him.
This is
When I went to high school, it was still a little on me. I bought a longboard, like a longboard, and I rode it home. And I remember him seeing me coming home on it. I just saw the disappointment in his face, and he was just like, "This can't be my son." And I'm like, "Daddy," and he didn't even look at me. He just walked in the house and said, "Come on," and I was like, "Yeah, that's about right." I get it.
Yeah, he saw that and he's like, "Oh no, he's gonna be in coffee shops and libraries."
Well, he was wrong about the library part. All right. That's it. Right? It's a cool thing about Connect 4 is it is a little strategy to it. Not a lot, but enough where you have to focus.
It does, right. It seems like the simplest, like, child's game. And then
I believe that's game. I missed it the first time. That's why I also fucked up.
What did I miss?
I missed it the first time, actually. Boom.
Good game.
That's one. But
I see. The whole podcast is a ruse to distract people so that you can win at Connect 4. There
it is. You got me. I was like, how do I destroy niggas at Connect 4 and record it and make it look like I'm a champion out here? You caught me.
Yeah, you stopped going to therapy. You just started inviting people over to beat them.
To be fair, board games. That is a podcast. Don't make it like it's just me.
No. First of all, this is a great idea. Whichever way you cut it.
Oh, shit. Ladies like, why don't you go to therapy? I'm like, hold on. I have a great idea. I'm going to invite some of my closest friends
Hungry hippos. That's couples therapy.
Oh, shit.
So I've been, as you know, going to therapy.
Who would have thought? You?
Well, I mean,
also real quick,
you might not have known by some of my behavior.
It's a really astute point you're making about yourself because it's very accurate. One, hold that thought. I gotta say, you have these shades on, and you probably look like the biggest douchebag right now.
I probably do. I was gonna try to make a bit about it being like, like poker, Vegas, gambling. You can't see my eyes. You can't. See my intention,
I love it.
But I scratched my eye.
That's what my mom says to me when she wants to bug me. This is how she bugs me. She goes, "You're just like your father," and it gets me every time. Every time I'm like, I would choke you, but I can't. She's 6 feet tall and has about 70 pounds on me. Yeah. My mom can beat my ass.
When she gets the windmills going.
You know what's crazy about it? Let me tell you this.
Oh, wait, does she pop the jab?
Oh, my mom can fight. I know because I just, the way she moves, you can tell.
Yeah,
and then too, one time she called me the other day. This is like 6 months ago. She goes, remember that time where we was fighting that guy and he was a little baby? You had to hold his leg while I was fighting him. I go, no. She goes, you remember when we had to fight that guy? I go, no, Ma, I don't remember. She's like, oh, that's good times. Like, Jesus Christ. Hey, Mom. What situation are you fighting a grown-ass nigga and then I'm just helping?
Yeah.
What?
Well, and that she's like reminiscing.
Like it's a good time.
Like that was, well, I think this is why we're friends. I had a similar one when I was like 8. My mom thought her boyfriend was cheating on her, and he was on a business trip in D.C. We lived in Atlanta. My cat had just given birth to like a litter of kittens. So my mom takes me, the cat, and the kittens. We drive from Atlanta to D.C., make a stop in South Carolina to give away the kittens. Keep one, the gray one, blue eyes. Then finish the drive, get to D.C. I have still no idea what's going on. The next thing I know, I'm grabbing this dude by the underwear, trying to keep him back. But being like slid across because he's like 6'3", rustled when he was in college at Minnesota. It's just like with socks on, just like going for a ride like water skiing. But it's fun childhood memories.
That's so funny. And who'd have thought? You're a comedian, right? Who'd have saw that career?
Yeah, you
coming?
too, right?
Yeah,
I'm glad comedians.
People like, you got a comedy because like, how'd you get in comedy? I'm like, look at me like, because I'm funny. Then look at me like, man, if you just knew the shit I've seen at a young age.
Well, and because you have to make it funny to deal like with this eye thing. I was panicking because I for real like couldn't see for a while, and I called the girl I'm seeing and she was like being serious and I like couldn't handle it, and I called another comedy buddy because we at least could riff about it while I was on my way to the hospital because I was like, I know I'm fucked, but let's just laugh about it for a while.
No, that's real, and I feel the same way. You told me something a few years ago that made me feel good because I don't think about it. I do it naturally because one thing that's kind of weird is sometimes I'll go on like a date with a lady and I'll tell her some of my childhood stories, and I think it's funny. Like I tell her this shit about like my dad beating the shit out of me, and I'm laughing, and they're just staring at me like, "Are you okay?" And to me, I'm like, "No, this is funny." They're like, "No, this is traumatic." I'm like, "But that means funny, right?"
Right.
Like that's the same thing, right?
Tragedy plus time.
Exactly. But literally, like my Uncle Dad joke, he was the first person to bring this up to me, which is darker than I even noticed, but it's true. Like, oh, I thought like to be a good uncle, you just come once in blue moon, you bring gifts, bring good times, you leave. Uncle's just coming in and out your life. I'm like, oh, that sounds like my father, which to me is just funny. But then I think about it, like, oh, that's one is truthful. But then I really thought about like, oh, that's really kind of fucked up. That my dad, and to this day, is just a good uncle. Like, if he was my uncle, my dad would be the greatest uncle of all time.
Yeah.
No point. But the problem is he's not my uncle. He's my father. And I'm just not actually reconciling with that in real time.
Right.
But and then so my point being, people are like, how do you become a comedian? I go, well, my dad stopped loving me in sophomore year, which is something you shouldn't do. And I saw it in his eyes. I saw him stop loving me. That's not fair to do to a kid.
Did you saw it like as the? Yeah.
I swear to God, I looked at him and the disappointment. And you know how I know he stopped loving me? Because he never acknowledged it to this day. Just never acknowledged how he felt about that. And then he kicked me out to my grandma's house a few months later.
Yeah, that's the thing is if he would have said something, then you'd be like, oh, okay, I know.
Yeah, like hey man, stop doing that white shit. Just no eye contact for a couple fucking weeks, and then you have to leave. And we lived in the studio. You know how hard it is not to make eye contact for a couple weeks. That's a petty level. That's a high level.
You got to put yourself in timeout to not do that. Like you gotta. I'm just gonna face the wall.
And what's crazy about it is he became a better father too. At the same time, like wake up, laid out my clothes, made breakfast, just never talked to me. Just like there it is. I'm like what? There it is. Go ahead.
So it's just an either or.
Yeah.
It's like look,
exactly.
we're either gonna hang out, or I'm gonna be a good dad. You can't have both.
No, for real. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. That's awful.
Maybe that's why he was like, well, if you want to be white, I'll try to be a good parent.
Who the fuck needs therapy? You know what I'm saying? Back to the main point. Who needs therapy when you have these moments?
I don't think I do.
You know what's funny about you? We both have this problem, actually. And I know it's because we were friends. We're both self-destructive in the way that we'll fuck ourselves over, but we'll help other people. We both have that.
The self-destructive thing for sure, because I was noticing that just even with the eye thing, like I was more worried about my girlfriend like not like getting to bed on time than I was like my eye bleeding. And then I was like thinking about that later, and I was like, I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah, and you know it's crazy. She respects you less too. She respects you less as a man too. While your eyes bleeding, she's like, this fucking weirdo.
100%, because she Googled it and she was like, oh, it says that this happens to kids all the time. And I was like, that was a punch to my balls and my gut. And just it took me down 10 because I was fucked up by this thing. And it was legit like bleeding. Yeah. She definitely thinks I'm a pussy. Like she grew up in Canada in a rural area, played hockey with boys, like is tall, like she definitely, oh fuck me.
Yeah.
I just walked into that.
Yeah. I saw it. I was gonna let you finish your thought before I ended the game.
I was so determined to be self-deprecating.
And then you got bent over in real time by me. It was fun. And as a friend, I want you to know I enjoyed doing it too. Anything you want to say before it's over?
I don't know. I feel like both you did that to me and I also did that to myself.
You did. I mean, it's kind of like your life. I got to be honest with you.
All right, I'll set this up. Oh, wait, you got to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to make it official. You got to sink the dagger in.
Oh, yeah. Let's run that one. That's 2. You want another one?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I forgot. It's best out of 3.
Yeah, and that's the game. But let's do 5. Any last thoughts? And I'll ask you one question.
Any last thoughts? No, but it's actually hilarious that we were playing like a children's game talking about childhood
most fucked up shit we can think of in our childhood. Yeah, that sounds about right. You know what's real crazy? I don't know. I think this could be the first episode. It might not. I don't know how I'm going to drop it. But if this is the first episode, I can't wait for people to be like, Jesus Christ, this is dark. But kind of fun. but dark. I mean, to me, it's kind of what good comedy is. It's like because we was being honest. It's slightly dark, but life is dark.
Hopefully, it's not like a tone setter for your whole thing. But
this really does become therapy for me. At some point, like 3 episodes in, people are like, hey man, we think you should just go to therapy, man.
Just crying during backgammon and just.
Oh shit. Oh man. Okay. My only question for you is you can answer any way you want to. Doesn't have to be long. Doesn't have to be short. However you feel. But in your opinion, what is the key
Anal.
to life? What is the key to life? You can stay with
same
anal.
answer.
All right, well, in that case, this has been a good time, man. Andre, you want to do it again?
You still want to shake my hand?
Jesus Christ.
I love you, dude.
I love you too, man. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, good game.
Yep, deuces.